Hi YouTubers, my name is Dumelo and welcome to Therapy and Aesthetics. Today we're going to be performing a basic facial on our beautiful customer over here, and I'm just prepping the area, making sure that I'm covering her ears, any jewelry that she might be wearing, and making sure that I avail myself to her complete face, neck and décolleté. I always love to start my facials with a cleanse and a toning of the skin because we do want to clean and wash the skin before I start with my skin analysis. I'm using a soft foaming cleanser. This is a gel consistency that foams up but very gentle on the skin, as my skin or my customer's skin appears to be oily combination. So the best suitable cleanser for her is a gel foaming cleanser. This is non-stripping though, so it's not going to strip off any moisture that she has on her skin. It's just going to remove any excess impurities. Now, cleansing is ideally a fast and vigorous movement because, of course, we want to wash off the impurities. We want to remove any excess dead skin cells that might be sitting on the surface of the skin. We also want to make sure we cover the entire area, corners of the nose, corners of the mouth. And in doing that, we want to make sure we're doing nice, soft, firm pressure movements so that it feels nice and relaxing for the customer. Once we're satisfied and the face is nice and clean, we are going to sponge off, and we're basically using warm sponges to remove the excess cleanser off the skin. And I always do a double sponge to make sure that all of the cleanser has come off. For example, if the customer had makeup on and you didn't sponge off sufficiently, you fall potential of clogging the customer's pores. So we always need to make sure that we remove absolutely everything. So we're going to sponge off the first time and then rinse the sponges and then sponge off a second time. Step number 2 in our facial regime is going to be toning. Toning is very important to balance the customer's skin's pH and also to remove any excess impurities that the cleanser couldn't remove. Your cleansing and toning step is basically one. And I know a lot of our customers don't like toning, even for some of you at home. I know you buy a full skincare regime, but your toner is the one that lasts the longest. And that's because we don't use our toners. Your pure toner shouldn't burn or tingle your skin unless if your skin is excessively dehydrated. Your toner is mainly supposed to balance your skin's pH and remove excess impurities. So basically making sure that we've removed absolutely everything. Now I'm moving on to just analyzing the customer's skin because of course now it's nice and clean. You'll see that we have some post-inflammatory pigmentation on the cheeks. These have caused those dark spots, which we call post-inflammatory pigmentation. So basically after you get a breakout, if you're the type of customer that squeezes your pimples, you're most likely going to experience these dark spots. She also had a lot of open pores along her nose area, along her nose, her chin, slightly up into the forehead. So that tells us that her T-zone is also quite oily. So we're going to focus quite a lot to balance the oiliness on the T-zone and then hydrate areas like the cheeks. But I will also be using a special ingredient to help minimize those dark spots on her cheeks and forehead. So currently what we're doing is an exfoliation. Exfoliation is also a vigorous movement. This we see as our secondary cleanse. This is basically going to remove dead skin cells. So where your cleanser and toner focuses on removing impurities, focuses on removing excess oil, excess makeup on the skin, the exfoliator focuses on removing dead skin cells. If we do not remove dead skin cells, then we don't allow our skin to produce fresh skin cells. So this step is very important, and we should be exfoliating our skins at least 2 to 3 times a week, depending on your skin type, whether you're oily, combination, or dry. When we perform a facial, we always want to make sure we are doing the things that our customers can't do for themselves at home. So what I'm adding on right now is our brush therapy. This just gives that extra exfoliation besides the granules that you find in our granular exfoliator. The exfoliator that we used has wax beads granules mixed with an enzymatic exfoliator. So enzymes in a product would usually unglue the dead skin cells from the living ones. And you will see after we do this exfoliation just how beautiful the skin is going to look. It's going to glow, it's going to look more hydrated, because essentially we've removed the dead skin cells. The brush therapy has very soft, fine bristles, so very safe for the skin on the face. And all we do are circular movements in the area where we've applied the exfoliator. This just gives us that extra boost with the exfoliation. So we do on the one side and we repeat the exact same thing on the other side. What I'm doing right now is basically to make my hands quite damp and just run over the area where I applied the granular exfoliator. This is just to remove as much of the granules as possible, because if you just sponge off sometimes you don't get rid of a lot of the granules. So this is just an extra step to make sure that I get rid of the granules. One of the other things you can also do during exfoliation and cleansing is use a steamer. I currently don't have one, but when you do have one, or if you do have one, applying steam when cleansing or exfoliating is an amazing tip, because that allows to open up your pores and stimulate circulation as well. Again, I always double sponge because we want to make sure we're removing absolutely everything on the skin. So what I'm applying right now is a treatment. This is going to focus mainly on the customer's post-inflammatory pigmentation, so the dark spots that you see, but it's also going to help to even out the customer's skin tone. We've got ingredients such as your niacinamide in this, we've got vitamin C in this product. These are ingredients that are amazing to brighten the skin, reduce any dullness, reduce dark spots, any pigmentation that the customer might be experiencing, and make sure that his skin is nice and even. Because it's a treatment, we want to immerse it into the skin, so we are applying nice firm pressure points on the skin. This is to allow the product to penetrate, but to also make sure that we're not breaking the active ingredients of the product, so not rubbing but applying. We're moving on to our eye area. Now, when we're using eye product, whether it's an eye serum or an eye cream, we always apply it on the bone surrounding the eye. So this we call the orbital bone. This bone over here is where we will find pores. So when you apply your product there, the product will penetrate. Never apply your eye treatment directly on the eyelid. Firstly, because we don't have sweat glands there. Secondly, we don't produce oil, so there is no pores. There's nothing that the product will penetrate into. So only as you can see on the area surrounding the eye. So we're going to do a nice quick eye massage just to allow the product to penetrate. This eye treatment is going to assist with dark circles, puffiness, as well as wrinkles. We're then going to add on some marbling. First of all, this feels absolutely relaxing on the skin, but most importantly, this is to allow for product penetration and then also to lift and firm the skin around the eye. So as you can see, I'm doing nice firm movements, and I'm also doing drainage movements. It's very important to drain your lymphatic nodes around the eye area. So I'm draining towards my temples, which is where the lymph will penetrate. So this can assist with some puffiness around the area, but also assist with lifting and firming. The next product I'm applying is our face serum. This face serum focuses on bringing back the natural hydration on the skin. It's packed up with some hyaluronic acid. It's got your natural emollients like your omega-3, 6, and 9. So your essential fatty acids, just to bring back the natural moisture of the skin. The skin functions at its best when its ceramides and natural essential fatty acids are working at their best, but also when your hyaluronic acid is producing enough for the skin. So we're basically replenishing what the skin has lost. And again, because it's a serum, it's usually a lighter texture. We're going to immerse it into the skin. So you apply and then basically pressure point in the areas to make sure the product penetrates. We're then going to repeat the marbling, this time on the entire face. Again, for the same benefits, we're doing drainage movements, basically draining to the lymph nodes surrounding the ear, lymph nodes surrounding the temple area and the forehead area to make sure that our blood circulation is moving, but also to lift and firm the skin, and lastly to have or allow for product penetration. Right, and then we're going to apply our mask. Now I'm going to be using two different masks for this facial because, as I mentioned, our customer is oily to the combination side. Therefore, she's a bit oily on her T-panel, struggling with open pores, struggling with excess sebum production, which is excess oil production. So on the T-panel, I'm going to be using a clay mask. This is going to purify the pores. It's going to help to minimize the amount of oil production that she's currently producing. So only on the areas such as the chin, upper lip, the nose, surrounding the nose, as well as just before you get to the forehead is where she's struggling with a lot of oiliness. Then for the rest of the face, we're going to be using a mask focusing on overall skin health, focusing on hydration, plumping of the skin. So this has a very high antioxidant, which is going to help stimulate skin renewal. It's also going to help to protect the skin from environmental aggressors, but not only that, just focus on overall skin health and skin regeneration. So as you can see, it's like a gel consistency. This is a peel-off mask, so we're going to leave it on for about 20 minutes. While we leave it on for 20 minutes, we'll do a nice quick hand massage just to allow the customer to relax. I won't add that to this video because otherwise this video is going to be very long, but next time maybe I will. And then we will then peel off the mask. Now usually in my facials I do also add on a facial massage, which I did do for this customer before applying the mask, but again, because I was avoiding this video being extra long, I didn't include it in this video. So the facial massage video I will release in my next week video. Right, so now we're basically done with our hand massage. We've left the mask on for about 20 minutes and I'm basically peeling it off over here. As you can see, this is the most satisfying part of this whole facial for me. I absolutely love peeling this off. I don't know what is so satisfying about a peel off mask, but I think even for the customer, it almost feels like you're peeling off a layer of unwanted skin, you know. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm gently peeling off the mask. Then on the area that I've applied the clay mask does also go quite hard, and I don't know how to describe it. So what I do is make my hands damp, and then I loosen the mask with some damp water first, as you can see, before I start sponging it off. If I go straight into sponging it off, then it's almost like a mission to remove it. So we just make our hands damp, and I'm doing some nice rotaries just to loosen the clay mask, and then from there we're going to start sponging off. So nice warm sponges that we're using over here, and as you can see, then it's easier to come off. You simply just glide. There are areas like surrounding the nose that it's sometimes so impossible. You'll find some of the clay mask inside the nose, so we want to try our best to do this as gentle and as seamless as possible, but as long as you've covered the entire area and made sure you remove the entire mask. So once we've sponged off the clay mask, this must be one of my favorite parts of receiving a facial is hot mittens on the face. Feels so relaxing. So over there I'm using a compress. It's very hot, and I'm basically applying pressure on the area. This is also basically just to say goodbye to my customer. It's the best way to end off your facial. We give it some nice pressure points on the area, and then I'm basically going to glide and make sure that I've removed all of the mask on the skin. Now remember, all the other products and ingredients that I applied prior to the mask have or should have already penetrated into the skin. So don't worry and think, oh, is she removing all that amazing product now? When you're using product that has active ingredients, it should penetrate very quickly into the deepest layers of the skin. Right, so to finish off the facial, we are basically going to apply our serum. The serum that I'm applying first over here focuses on our vitamin C, which brightens even out skin tone. It also helps to hydrate, like our hyaluronic acid. And then I'm also then going to follow on with our moisturizer on the area. And the moisturizer has an SPF of 30. You always have to seal your serum with a face moisturizer. It is very important. So your moisturizer, SPF of 30. This is protecting us from our UV rays outside. As you know, pigmentation, or rather UV rays, is what causes pigmentation on the skin. And because we've already seen that she's struggling with some pigmentation, we have to make sure she applies a good SPF. Thank you for joining me for this facial today, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave your comments down below and tell me what you thought about the facial. And please don't forget to hit the like button as well as subscribing to my channel. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye for now.